What's up guys, my name is Ace, and the second week of the beta for Black Ops Cold War is live now, and I've gotta say, my connection experience has improved significantly compared to last week. And this is great news because last week I felt like I couldn't really focus on providing feedback for a lot of specific issues because the connection was so bad, which prevented me from really seeing any other issues, because if you have an issue with connection, then none of the other issues in the game really matter. That's just going to be the big thing that stands out. So now that the connection has gotten a lot better for me so far, at least, I'm able to hone in on some more specific aspects and provide feedback on those aspects. And the big one I want to focus on today is the feel of aiming and also aim assist when using a controller in Cold War. I feel like there is something that's just off with this, and it seems to be a relatively common complaint, so it's not just me that's feeling this. But I wanted to dive fairly deep into this topic because I do feel like it's a relatively serious issue. It's a core issue with the game, in my opinion, and I really hope that it can get worked out for launch. So what I'm going to do is basically just explain to the best of my ability the issues that I'm having and how the aiming feels in this game and why it feels kind of off. And then hopefully, if there's some developers watching, you'll be able to use this information to pinpoint the root cause of this issue, or causes if there are multiple causes. And the first big part of this is aim assist. And this is actually going to be a pretty big focus on this video. Something feels weird with aim assist in the beta, and this is something I didn't experience throughout the alpha, or at least I don't remember experiencing this in the alpha, but something just feels off about it. It's really strange, actually. I've been seeing a lot of people mentioning that aim assist feels extremely strong, and it's like stronger than it's ever been, and it's way too overpowered and everything. But this honestly hasn't been my experience with it at all. For me, at least, it's felt like it's really inconsistent, and oftentimes it feels like I have to fight against the aim assist in order to make my aim do what I want it to do. And that's not something I can ever remember having to deal with in previous Call of Duty games, aside from those situations where I'm trying to aim at somebody at a distance and another enemy runs in front of my sight and then my aim pulls to them. I'm talking in a 1v1 gunfight. I'm trying to get my aim on target, and it feels like the aim assist is actually preventing me from getting on target rather than assisting me to get on target like it should be. This is especially true when I have an enemy that's moving perpendicular to me in a relatively close quarter situation. So they're up close or somewhat mid-range on a 6v6 map, for instance. But when they're moving perpendicular, I'm trying to track onto the target, and it feels like that sort of aim assist bubble is trailing behind the enemy character model, and it's preventing me from catching up to the target while trying to sweep onto them. It's like my aim is slowing down before I can get to the target, and it's slowing my sensitivity down so much that I literally cannot track myself onto target. And I don't use a super low sensitivity to begin with either, so I really don't feel that should be happening to that extent. And I do think this is something that is hopefully relatively easy to fix, like this aspect of it. It just seems like that aim assist bubble is trailing behind, and to my knowledge, they can extrapolate things and make it essentially track slightly in front of a target that's moving, or like the tail end of that aim assist bubble will actually match up with the tail end of the character model. I know I've kind of oversimplified things, but that's what it feels like. It feels like that aim assist bubble is trailing behind the target and slowing me down, which prevents me from actually getting to my target. And that's just the first issue with aim assist, and that's kind of the more obvious one that I can really easily describe, and I think I know what's going on with that. The next one is something that I've heard some people try to describe, and I honestly don't know the best way to describe it either. But I've seen both Drifter and Elite Shop mention this before, and they mentioned that it seems like when you get on target with aim assist, and you are on target and you start shooting while you're on target, you basically just let the aim assist do everything for you, and you don't try to fight it, you don't try to manually control anything. You just sort of let the aim assist take over and do its job. And while I don't 100% agree with this, I think that's definitely a huge oversimplification, and it makes it sound like you literally don't have to do anything. At the same time, it does feel like I am sort of fighting the aim assist with my micro adjustments with my aim when I'm trying to account for the recoil, for instance. I'm used to having to move that analog stick just a very slight amount in order to counteract little bits of recoil and keep myself on target. In the Cold War beta, I feel like when I do this, it's not doing anything. Nothing happens. It's not really responsive. And keep in mind, I've set my dead zones as low as I can possibly go before I get some stick drift, and my controller is actually pretty good for stick drift, so I think my dead zone setting is at like 0.02 or something. It's extremely low, so I don't think this is a dead zone issue at all. It seems like it's something to do with aim assist, but I can't quite put my finger on this element of it. It just feels like I don't have that fine control, though, when I'm in a gunfight and on target, and trying to stay on target with a recoil. And at first, my thought was this must be just due to the changes they've made to the recoil since the alpha, because they actually kind of totally reworked the recoil system since the alpha. But when I shoot at a wall, I can actually counteract that recoil just fine, and it feels totally normal. It's just when I'm in an actual gunfight shooting at an enemy player where this suddenly becomes an issue, which leads me to believe that it's something with the aim assist that's off and not so much with the recoil. Now, having said this, there's also another issue with aim assist, and I think this is one of the reasons a lot of people are saying that aim assist is super strong in this game, and that is sometimes it seems to track through walls or through surfaces to an extent. Like if you start tracking an enemy as they're going around a corner, it will continue to track them around that corner for a short period of time before it eventually disappears. And I have noticed this as well. I don't really see this as being something that's all that helpful unless you're shooting through like a paper-thin wall. But mainly as an SMG player, this hasn't helped me at all. It's just kind of felt weird that it's like, why am I still feeling that enemy player with my aim assist after they've gone around that corner? So that's another thing. Perhaps that's closely related to the first issue where that bubble seems to be just tracking behind enemy character models. Maybe there's some problems where it's just not deactivating in time as well when the enemy character gets behind cover. I don't really know what's going on there, but it is an issue that hopefully they can get resolved for launch. So those are the main issues I've been having with the aim assist in this game. And like I said, it just feels really awkward. I don't know if they completely changed how the aim assist works in this compared to previous Call of Duty games, but it definitely feels like they're trying something new here. And it's not really working out, at least for me, and I wish it would just go back to the standard feeling of aim assist in Call of Duty. Now, one last thing I wanted to mention about aim assist is I personally would love to see the two settings separated for aim assist rotation as well as aim assist slowdown. So you could disable rotation if you'd like, or you could disable slowdown if you'd like, and you could do that independently, because as of right now, you can basically just turn aim assist on or off, and that's it. Also, I have seen a handful of people requesting precision and focusing aim assist to return from Modern Warfare, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I personally don't think those types of aim assist should be returning. Those ones have an aim assist bubble that's literally on the character model, and while it's harder to find that bubble and get on target, once you are on target, it does help you stick right on the character model a lot easier than the standard aim assist, which just gets you in the area of the target and then you have to do the rest of the work. The main reason for this is it's too easy to abuse those aim assist types, especially when you have some sort of a controller mod that, to my knowledge, it basically like wiggles your aim slightly when it detects that aim assist slowdown. And this allows you to track directly on your target, whereas with the standard aim assist, I believe it doesn't really give you that same ability because it just gets you within the general area of your target. It doesn't get you directly on the character model. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. Now let's move away from the aim assist and onto other aiming issues or just other aiming settings that I would like to see that will help us tailor the aiming experience to our own personal preferences. The first thing here is different response curve types. I hope we end up seeing different settings for this in the full build of the game, just like we have in Modern Warfare. So we have like standard, dynamic, or linear response curves. And even though I'm somebody that prefers standard response curve, and I would probably stick to the standard response curve, I think those settings should be available for the people that prefer a different response curve type. So yeah, I really hope we see those settings at launch. Also, something that I noticed is available for mouse and keyboard users in the Cold War beta, but not for controller users. This is the aim down sight sensitivity transition timing. And this is the setting that allows you to choose the timing of your aim down sight sensitivity, which is going to be slower than your hip fire sensitivity. So when you initiate aim down sight, do you immediately get that aim down sight sensitivity the moment you start aiming down sight? Or is it going to be a gradual thing over time, like as you're in the process of aiming down sight, it ramps down your sensitivity over time? Or does it happen once you're fully aimed down sight and then you get that slower aim down sight sensitivity? With mouse and keyboard, you have full control over that, but with a controller, you don't get that same option, and I don't see why not. I feel like you should have that available for a controller, because that's not something that's inherently tied to how a mouse works versus a controller works. That's just a preference sort of thing. Now, moving on to the next issue I've been having with the aiming. This is aiming with a sniper rifle, and I'm not talking about quickscoping. Quickscoping is actually quite easy in this game, I've found. It's more so those longer range hard scopes, or traditional sniping, where you're hanging back and trying to pick people off at range, which is what a sniper's designed to excel at. I've been finding that personally, I'm just having a really hard time tracking those targets. And this is strange because apparently in the beta, they added aim assist to sniper rifles, even though I barely feel it, if at all. Like, I'm not really noticing any aim assist with it. And they also said they made some adjustments to sniper rifles aiming and how the sensitivity and stuff is. And this is supposed to help your ability to track targets, but if anything, it feels like it's made it even more difficult. And honestly, even as somebody that only sometimes dabbles with quickscoping, I feel so much more confident hitting a quickscope than I do a hardscope in this game, even at longer ranges, which is totally backwards. And when comparing this with how a mouse would be able to track that same target at longer ranges with a hardscope, I really feel like there's going to be a massive discrepancy here between a mouse and keyboard sniper and a controller sniper. And if we're going to have this cross-input play, which it looks like we are having, I kind of feel like we should get some stronger aim assist while holding our breath with a sniper rifle. It doesn't have to be insane, doesn't have to snap onto target or lock onto target. Just a little bit of a better slowdown, or maybe decrease the size of that aim assist bubble so we can actually feel it a bit while trying to hit those long-range snipes. And if they were to do it this way, that would not affect quickscopes at all. It wouldn't be buffing a quickscoper because you'd have to be holding your breath. But it would make it a lot more viable to actually use a sniper rifle at really long ranges, because as of right now, with a controller at least, I feel way more accurate and confident with an assault rifle at extremely long ranges than I do with a sniper rifle, and that shouldn't be the case. It should be the other way around. Now finally, there's one last topic I wanted to include in this video because it does have to do with the aiming experience in this game, and this is player visibility while I'm firing at them. Now, there's also the player visibility on the maps themselves where character models are really blending into the background. That's sort of a separate issue for a separate video, and I have mentioned this a little bit in the past. I'm talking mainly the sort of blurriness that you get when you start shooting at an enemy character. I think part of that is like the smoke effect that's coming out, as well as the muzzle flash, but even when I'm using a suppressor, which appears to eliminate muzzle flash completely, there's still that same blurry sort of smoke effect, and it's quite strong to the point where if I'm shooting at someone, sometimes even at pretty close ranges, I can easily lose sight of the target just because things get so blurry. So it almost feels like I have to make sure my first shot's on target, and then I just kind of hope the rest of my shots are going to be hitting because I hit my first one, because I can no longer see where my target is. So yeah, I hope this is something they can make some adjustments to as well. I don't know if it's just that sort of smoke effect coming out of the muzzle or the muzzle flash itself, but I do feel like there's definitely room for improvement in this area when it comes to the clarity of shooting at an enemy player. And with that, that's finally going to wrap it up for today's video. I know there was a lot that I packed into this video, but I've got to say, my experience in gunfights when it comes to my aiming and my ability to see the target and everything, it hasn't been great in the beta so far, and I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, and I feel like some of these things are relatively easy to improve as well, so we could expect to see some changes for launch, and I really hope we do. But with that, I'd like to know in the comments section below, have you guys been experiencing some of the same issues I've mentioned in today's video? And are there any other issues relating to aiming and gunfights that you've noticed that you would like to see fixed? Just let me know those thoughts and that feedback down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.